Alright, we got transfer cases here, we got transfer cases here, and we even got transfer cases in here. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Long time no see, no views. Long time. It's been a long time. I think we've been about a month. I don't know the exact date. I just know it's been a long time. So welcome back to the channel, you guys. By the time you guys are watching this video, we finally hit 500 subscribers on YouTube. So whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's go. Thank you guys for all the subscriptions and stuff. And I apologize for the lack of videos, because to be honest, there hasn't really been much going on out here. After the last race, we got the transfer case stuff all figured out. We got that shipped off to Liberty. They told me it would take 2 weeks to get fixed, and now we're going on 7 weeks, maybe even 8. No, we're going on like 7 weeks. So that's been kind of annoying. So luckily though, buddy Javier, old Jib Jab, had an auto T case with a 300M billet shaft, pretty much a built T case, kind of like how the original one at NFT was, that I'm going to take apart, throw a manual case and stuff on it, and then we should be good for the races. The races are coming up. Hopefully I get this video edited before the races, which I should. But we got a race. Real time's Wednesday. We got a real time is Thursday. We got a real race on Sunday. So plenty of time to get the car going. So all the parts are here. So in today's video, we're going to get the new clutch on. We'll get the old triple disc off, get the twin disc on, which if you can see it, sitting back over there on the shelf or on the bench. And then we're going to start getting this thing cleaned up. We'll get the transmission back together. When we tore it apart, I can't remember if it was an old video or not. These were just like the dogs off of it. Second gear and fourth gear, if I remember right. They weren't too bad. These ones, I mean, this was like the worst of it. So these ones, I mean, it was holding the gear, it wasn't popping out or nothing and stuff. But since we had the time, took it apart, checked it out. We have some other dogs that are good. They already got the clusters and everything back together, sitting in there. So just need to clean up the case, silicone it, get it back together, let it dry, and then we'll get it put back in the car, obviously, before the race. So that's kind of the plan for today. That's the plan for today's video. So again, appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Helps the algorithm so much. Share the video. Let's get back to working on NFT, baby. Let's go, GSD. All right, there's the old triple disc. 1, 2, 3. I mean, there's a little bit of life left on these clutches and stuff, but like I said, I offered to give it away to a subscriber. He hit me up. We got the subscriber. I forget his name, because it's been like 2 months or a month and a half ago or whatever, however long it's been. So there's the old clutch. It'll come with all the bolts and all that stuff. I'm gonna let him know I'd recommend getting some new of these bolts though, because these Allens are starting to kind of get stripped out. So we'll get that all set aside and boxed up for him. He's supposed to swing by in the fall after he gets back. He gets his on deployment, if I remember right. So thank you for your service, bro. And then once he gets back, and then he can swoop down and pick this up. So in the meantime, that's what we're picking up, or that's what we're installing. So quartermaster, twin disc. Clutch discs are a lot thicker. Custom pressure plate. This pressure plate is good for like 195 mile an hour trap speeds. So if you do the Ricer math, that's way faster than we're going to be going, you guys. So yeah, 195 mile per hour trap speed. That's probably like close to what, 1500 horsepower, 1400 horsepower. Yeah, it's up there. So this clutch, it's going to be plenty. So we're going to get this thing disassembled and get it installed and assembled. So that's the plan. Let's get to it. And I was just looking, I can't remember if I told you guys, but anyways, Tim Zimmer, great guy, TMZ, got me hooked up with the clutch. And as you can see, they media blast all the friction, floater plates, pressure, flywheel and all that stuff before they shipped it out. So that way there's really no break-in period. It's just slap on the car and go rip that thing. So as I was taking it apart, I was like, oh, this thing looks weird. But I was like, oh yeah, they media blasted it to already kind of break in the surface and stuff. So new hardware, new flywheel bolts, already come with thread locker and stuff on there. So we're gonna get the alignment tool and then yeah, I'm gonna slap this guy on. So let's take it over to NFT. She's in. Quartermaster twin disc. And it's all torqued down. Got the flywheel freaking hammered tight, and then we torqued all the flywheel, or sorry, pressure plate bolts to spec. So Quartermaster's in. She's in, she's in. So I mean, that's pretty much it on the car right now. Now what I gotta do next is get these cases and everything cleaned up and then get the training back together. But you guys have watched this channel, watched my videos, you guys have seen me do this way too many times. So I'm not gonna film it this time. I'll kick the cameras back on maybe once I get it all back together and check back in. So yeah, I don't wanna make you guys suffer through. And I'm suffering. Just such a pain in the butt. So yeah, I'm not gonna make you guys suffer through watching me put this training and stuff back together. So we'll check back in after I get that all taken care of. It's hot. Got the swamp cooler going over there. It's still hot. All right, just like that. Quick edits. The YouTube timeline, whatever you want, the magic of YouTube. Transmission's back together. So present time, next day. This thing's all set up. Should be good to go. So that's ready to go back in the car. But I think I don't really know what I'm gonna. I'm a little torn with what I want to do today. So this is the transfer case. This is the donor transfer case. So this is a good one that I tore apart to send the output shaft, the OEM output shaft, and with the 300M output shaft to get switched around at Liberty. So that was like the donor one. That was the one I took the tail housing off the built T-case and put it back to here. But like I was telling you guys, it's not gonna be done in race time. So we got the auto T-case sitting over there that Jib Javo Javier sent. So, and I got this beautiful, let's go over here, T-case brace, which helps a lot with the failure that I had on that other transfer case. So as you guys saw in other videos, if you watched them, the destruction of the transfer case. So this is the Frontline Fab T-case brace. It's a beautiful part. All billet aluminum, solid, one piece. It bolts onto the side of the transfer case, and it actually takes place, I'll take this out. It takes place of this cap, which is the only cap, so you don't need that anymore. So that like fits on right there. But as you can see, it doesn't fit right with this transfer case. Well, of course, all kinds of parts are made for all these cars. So in the years of making all these cars, they made two different types of transfer cases. So it's this one with this case, and then here's my pile of parts here. And then it's this one with this case. As you can see, these two extra holes. Those two extra holes, see how this one has like a bump up here and those holes aren't there? This one, it doesn't have that full bump up. It just has this bump down, those two extra holes. So we're going to try to take this center section off this T-case, which is a manual transfer case for the DSMs, and swap it out with this T-case, which is an auto T-case. So as you guys can see with this T-case, it's got these big old ears on it. This T-case, and put them side by side. This case does not. See, these ears are missing. Those ones don't have it. So this one would have technically worked to slap the T-case brace on here, but we can't rock that one. It's got this big old groove and shit. So, and this is where it bolts to the transmission. So we're like missing some bolts. It won't work. So we're gonna take the auto one apart. Hopefully I can just swap these cases. Everything else is the same. Oh no, it's not. Oh my god, I just noticed that. Oh, I thought these end cases were the same, but they're not. That's a short bolt. That's a short bolt, this is a long bolt. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if that's in a different spot too. So, well, plans have changed then. So it looks like we're going to need I don't know what the hell we're going to need, to be honest. So I guess we're going to be mix and matching some parts here then. We're going to get this thing back together and hopefully the transfer case is happy and it doesn't whine. So all I know is that we need to get this off, which maybe these tail housings are actually the same. I don't know if the tail housing is the same. And he really packaged this thing really good, didn't he? Oh, I can't do this with two hands. But we'll get this, we're gonna get this all apart. We're gonna make something work. So I have all the tools that I need to disassemble them, put them back together, torque them all where they need to be and stuff. So from what I'm seeing is we are going to, we want this middle case right here for sure, because the T-case brace only works with that one. So that's what we're gonna have to, we need that middle case. And we may as well use this end case because those two go together. And then we need the gears out of here and one of these tail housings, which I think the tail housings are the same because they bore, this hole is bigger for the 300M compared to the factory, which here is, as you can see, there's a factory one, which is broken, destroyed. But that's poured out bigger. I don't know if you can really tell without a side-by-side comparison, but so we're going to tear apart some transfer cases and see if we can make this auto one work in a manual. We got to. That's our only option. We're going to make it work. GSD. Let's do it. Oh, those take a little bit more to get apart than they should. I mean, they've been together for 30 something years now. 90, depending on the year they came out of, say 90, 20, 33 years. Yeah, they've been together for a minute. So, we've still got the auto parts over there. Now let me show you guys something here. Okay, so this is why we upgrade these transfer cases. So, as you can see, quite a bit difference in size. So if you guys watched the videos from last race, these don't last very long trying to launch with about a 1,000 horsepower car. These things snap like crazy. So luckily they came out with this upgrade, which is a way bigger shaft. It's 300M material. It's a lot stronger. I mean, no one's broke. These don't break. What usually happens is the case separates and then you shred all the teeth right here. So that's what we're upgrading to that. I mean, this is essentially what I sent into Liberty. So I sent in my old jacked up one, which the output shaft's fine, the gear was shredded, and then I sent the broke one, the stock one that I broke, so this end broke, but the gear was still good. So the gears, there's only one company that makes aftermarket gears, that's Magnus, and for a set of gears, it's like 2,300 bucks. But you could send this into Liberty, they'll machine this gear off this shaft, and then they'll weld it onto this shaft. So these are factory gears, which I guess are already like treated and stuff from the, they're like forged, or not forged, can't think of the word, but they're treated from the factory already. So they're good gears, but the big thing is deflection in the cases. When you don't run T-case braces and stuff, the case starts separating, it causes separation, which causes these gears to separate, which, you know, they're riding like that. This separates, and then they start, you know, they separate, the teeth separate, and they start shredding the teeth. So that's why the T-case braces are huge. I mean, I think there's a lot of guys out there that have 300Ms, factory gears, running T-case braces and stuff. Magnus makes this housing, the end housing. Boosted makes the center housing and all that stuff. A lot more money, got to set it up. So right now we're running factory housings, 300M output shaft, and then we're going to be running the frontline fab T-case brace. Hopefully that'll get us by until we get a fully built. We're just going to do a full built. We'll even do the Magnus gears, but that'll be a couple seasons from now, because I don't think we're going to have a race season next year. So hopefully this T-case can get us through the rest of the year, and then we'll make plans on upgrading the transfer case to the fully built Red Demon spec 1/160 foot. Shouldn't have an issue. So this should get us by. This setup has lasted, I don't even know how many passes Dave had on that T-case before I got it. I think I know damn well I'm above 50, maybe even 75 hits, launches on that T-case. So once we get this together, I mean, this thing should last this race, next weekend. So this race, and then the last race, and then before Bannerman closes, we're going to, the goal is to get NFT as light as possible. We're taking out as much weight as we can, get this thing as light as possible, and then we're going to send it down the track and see how deep we can get into the 8s before Bannerman closes. That way we can kind of bury the record for the fastest, quickest DSM here in Colorado and on the mountain. Obviously, once Bannerman closes, no one's going to be able to go get that title again, but Pueblo, other racetracks will open, so I mean in the future that kind of will still be up for grabs, but try to make this thing as light as possible. I mean, we can probably take out 100, like 150 pounds at most is what we're probably going to be able to lose. The weight plate's like 130, all the other weights I got and stuff in the car, so we're not going to be able to lose that much weight, but we'll get as light as possible, and then go make some rips on like a test and tune or something, and see if we can, well, I don't know about test and tune. Track prep's usually crappy, but we're just going to see before Bannerman closes, after these next races, as long as the car is still together, there's no issues, see how far we can get it into the 8s. For now we're focusing on this race, so we've been kind of rambling on. So that's, you know, like I said, stock and then aftermarket. So right now what I got is the cases over here in the parts washer, which I'm not going to walk over there because it's noisy because of the swamp cooler right there. But we got the parts over there in the parts washer. I'm getting those cleaned up, and then once those are all cleaned up and stuff, then we'll start kind of piecing this back together and seeing if we can get it going with the shims. I'll measure shims and see if we can get a good manual T-case with a nice T-case brace. So that's the plan. Let's get back to it.